Severe weather could threaten parts of the country this weekend. Forecasters say a major storm could bring heavy snow and blizzard conditions across the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. Paul Heggen is the chief meteorologist of our San Francisco station, KPIX. Paul, what are you watching there?
We are watching the potential for that strong nor'easter to move up the eastern seaboard, which, looking at the map today, you wouldn't guess that's in the cards because it's a very calm pattern across the entire country. A little too calm in the Pacific Northwest, where air stagnation advisories are in effect for Portland and Seattle. The only features of note, some snow in the Great Plains and plenty of rain with a system in the Gulf of Mexico being sent towards Miami. That's going to continue for the next 24 hours, while the snow in the Great Plains is going to work its way into the panhandle of Texas, into northern New Mexico, and then swing a little bit farther to the east towards Oklahoma City by tomorrow evening, while the system in the Gulf is going to cross over the Florida Peninsula, and that's the one we have to watch as it develops by the end of the work week and into the weekend. More on that in just a second. High temperatures on Wednesday. Going to be cold for the eastern two-thirds of the country after the Twin Cities start off in the teens below zero. They're going to manage to bounce back to the low 20s. Well, Chicago only reaches a high temperature of 10 degrees, 37 degrees in Nashville. So cold air in place. You combine that cold air with the moisture associated with that developing storm system, it could be a mess on the eastern seaboard. Let's take a look at a long-range forecast model. And the details on this are still a little out of focus. We're still 3 or 4 days in advance. As we get closer to the storm system actually taking shape, we'll get a better idea exactly how it's going to behave. But the path that's anticipated with this storm system would result in a nor'easter affecting much of the eastern seaboard. Everything depends on the track of the center of the storm system. The closer it is to the coast, the more that the heaviest snow and the strongest winds are going to penetrate farther inland. If it tracks just 50 miles farther off the coast, then those greatest impacts are going to be farther off the coast as well. But this is something that's going to come into better focus over the next several days. Make sure you're staying plugged into your local forecast. Everybody from the Carolinas northward into New England, it is going to be a major storm system. At this point, we're still figuring out exactly where it is going to go, and that is going to determine those specific impacts for not only the southeastern U.S., but the mid-Atlantic all the way up into New England. Lilia, forecasters across the country are going to be watching this one very carefully.
Paul Heggen, thank you, and thank you for covering Los Angeles' 73 degrees. I don't want the rest of the country to suffer from severe FOMO of where we are now. Thank you,
Yeah,
Paul.
mild in San Francisco here, too.